Hello and welcome to Roath Park for the 1988 Welsh Brewers Cup final. Well, as you can see, it's comparatively quiet here at the moment, but if previous cup finals are anything to go by, then I can assure you that there's going to be some frantic activity here in a short while. And this diamond is going to be surrounded by some partisan crowds from different sides of Cardiff. Now, that lull before the storm, if I may call it that, will give me the chance to set the scene for you, because the intriguing prospect that we've got for this year's final is a confrontation between two sides representing different parts of the city. From the east, we've got Old Illtydians from this direction, and the west, we've got Caira, the cup holders. Well, now, it's an experience that's going to be nothing new for either side, because they've both featured in previous cup finals. Caira are the cup holders, and I'm sure that most of you can remember them beating St Michael's of Newport last year in convincing fashion. And it was a very proud captain, David Dubber Richards, who held the cup aloft. Well, Dubber is leading Caira again this year. The Old Illtydians' only appearance in the cup final was back in 1983, when they lost to Alexandra Old Boys of Newport. Quite a number of the team that played that day are in this year's team. Famous names from the rugby world like David Bishop, Mark Ring and Brendan McAloon. But that was 5 years ago. This year they are an impressive outfit and they're anxious to put their name on the cup. Well, with the details of today's teams, let's hand you over now to our commentator for the match, Howard Evans.
Caira start as favourites, having won the Welsh Baseball Union Cup recently in fine style with a record final score. Caira are the holders of this cup, but are without both Bernard G and Jeff Pike, though they have the Newbridge flag forward Craig Meredith back from holiday and include 5 full Welsh baseball caps. Old Illtydians lose senior Welsh soccer cap David Giles to Merthyr today. He's playing at Leicester, but they do have the brilliant David Bishop, their skipper and opening bowler, and also include the Wales B baseball captain Brendan McAloon and full Welsh baseball caps Mark Ring and Kevin Trevett. They face an uphill task today. Referee is Bernard Cross of Penarth. It's his first Brewers final, though he controlled the Welsh Baseball Union finals of 1984 and 1986. Caira have won the toss and put the Old Illtydians into bat. So the first man for the Illtydians, Kevin Trevett, one of the fastest baseballers around the diamond. It's Chris Duffin bowling for Caira. Trevett, a very nice shot to start with. What a good start that was. We could be seeing a fall, I think, for Trevett. Yes, he is. Kevin Trevett, such a success in his only Welsh international a couple of years ago, and what a fine start, really. It is 4 runs for Kevin Trevett. Just 1 ball gone. Well, he is the man that everyone wants to see batting very, very well this season. Well up the Premier Division scorers. David Bishop was taking his time before towing the pegs with his left foot, as he's a right-handed batsman, left-handed bowler. Duff into David Bishop. Hits it well, clears Glyn Owen. That's gone away, another possible 4. Wonderful shot by David Bishop. Limping a bit, it looked to me, but getting round for 4 runs. What a start for the Illtydians. And he was certainly limping there, David Bishop, quite a bit on his right ankle. And at number 3, the very experienced Paul Goring. Chris Duffin to bowl Andy Griffiths, the backstop. And Andy was a reserve backstop really today for Bernard G, who was on holiday. And here's a man who's normally on first base, Andy Griffiths, filling in the backstop and waiting for his first real touch. Paul Goring hits that beautifully. That's the best 4 of them all, I think, by Paul Goring. That really is a beautiful shot. And the fielder crashed it. Wayne Matthews with somebody in the crowd, but Paul Goring hits a beautiful 4. What a start. 4 balls gone, 3 fours. Something to Michael Jones. Good ball, well hit. Over the head of Craig Meredith. Good effort to catch it. But it's away for another 4, it looks like. Michael Jones. It's gone into the brook at the back and lost there. And Michael Jones also makes it for 4. And that really is one of the most astonishing starts ever to a Brewers Cup final. Old Illtydians 18 for naught. Now here's an interesting character. David Cross was the Welsh Player of the Year in 1976. He was only the 2nd man never to be capped, in fact, and be Player of the Year. David Cross facing, formerly of Llanrumney, the Welsh B team cap this year. Duffin to Cross, let it go, and it was the first really good ball. Now one good gone. Cross hits this one high, very well. He's going to be out-caught by Wayne Matthews. Out-caught indeed it is. Reaches one base, but it's not counted. Matthews positioned himself well, and the former Cardiff City footballer held that one. Cross hits very strongly to leg. It wasn't a bad shot at all. Matthews is pretty quick, positions himself well, and he doesn't drop those. Duffin with the ball, maybe just a little bit wet, and the foothold difficult. He's won 2 Welsh caps. And he bowls Alan Brind, touched as well by the backstop Andy Griffiths, but Alan Brind made no effort to run. And that's the first really good victim for Chris Duffin. The second man out, but his first really good victim. Last man in the first round is Philip Neal, member of the Kayaks, famous rugby club in Cardiff. Kayak, in fact, Cardiff Internationals. But Duffin really hasn't found his length at the moment. And certainly it's a disturbing Caira with Chris Duffin just a little bit off form. That was a good ball though, and out goes Philip Neal. Chris Duffin beating Phil Neal's shot there, and there was nowhere for him to run anyway, as Simon Williams was on first base. David Bishop has got a good range of strokes, and see what we do here. It's a good shot indeed. There's nobody there, and it looks pretty good for 4. Let's see with David if there is a limp there this time. No, a bit stronger running this time. He pushed it quite well, and he gets a 4, but a little jump hasn't got to the finish. Score illtydians 35 for 3. Good start for them. Paul Gorin, 4 first time up, and he's not going to get it this time. Went for a leg shot, didn't make it. Good take by Andy Griffiths, the backstop, and he's based by Brian Russ at 1 base. Michael Jones, product of St Illtyds College, as are many of the players, didn't quite make it. Griffith to Russ, no need to run. He's out based as well, and a little bit of a collapse by the illtydians. Illtydians 38 for 5. As Chris Duffin will be looking at the batsman, Brendan McAloon, as so many of the illtydians go into a crouch position. And he hits this high. It's going to be out, I would say. It's Craig Meredith who's caught it. And a very good catch, because he been very fit. I think he got in under the ball almost with 2 hands, and a typical baseball catch. Kevin Trevecchia, whose rugby career somehow or other was shortened after playing for the Welsh youth in South Africa and several first-class clubs. Another good shot by him. What a lovely little baseballer he is. Shouting to the man in front of him to move, but it's not easy when Trevett is flying around, and he scores another 2. So it's a different angle and a different pace. Left-handed Paul Brenchley plays his football with Grange Boys Club, and he gets the man straight away. The change works. David Bishop way off it, and a little bit annoyed with himself, to say the least. Simon Williams waiting, and he's had a go at that one, and he's bisected the field between Brian Russ and Martin Richards and taken 2 useful runs. Playing a little anchor role really, Simon Williams, quite content to go along like this. And after 4 rounds, the illtydians are now 57 for 8. Now Caira's fielding is not very sharp at the moment. It's just relaxed a bit, and there's a change in bowling again with Chris Duffin coming back. Duffin to Rees, the dummy first. Nobody buying it. Duffin to Paul Rees, last man home, and he's got it away. He could well be out. Mike Fleming, a wonderful catch. So typical of Mike Fleming's baseball. Beautiful diving catch. And Paul Rees goes after a useful innings of 7. Rees hit it enough in the air to give the other 2 players a chance to get home, and that certainly helped his side. Fleming having to go late for it, and what a good 2-handed catch, hanging on to it. Kevin Trevett again then, last home. Hitting high, hard, and that's cleared surely the field with the highest hit so far. Well, just over what is a boundary here, but in fact you don't get 4 runs for the crossing the line, but you get 4 runs for running as fast as that. Kevin Trevett, his second 4 of the innings, and 15 to him so far. The Illtydians on a very useful first innings, 64 for 9. Step in again. Simon Williams nowhere near that. Waited patiently, but in the end had a go at a ball that really wasn't there to be hit. Well, Chris Duffin, I don't suppose we'll rate that one as too great a ball, but they're all pretty good if you get them clean bowled. Kevin Trevett, last man home, hits it away. He'll certainly get 1. Probably at his speed will get 2 as Martin Richards picks up. What a fine throw by Martin Richards, and all out as Andy Griffiths, the backstop, puts it down. Richards would have liked to have thrown it in on the full, I think, but first bounce, and 2 runs for Kevin Trevett. So Bishop to Fleming, who takes it very well, hits it away, but is out to a very good catch. To a very good catch by Simon Williams, and that's a good man gone. It's very unusual to see Mike Fleming out for a duck. Mike hit it, just got under it really, lofted it. Just for a moment it looked as if it was going to beat Simon Williams. And he went down, but what a good catch it was. So here's Glyn Owen, very fit, fast young lad, has hit it away. Well, but it's Kevin Trevett. Oh, it's put down. It's not Kevin, in fact, Alan Bryn there. And that's a chance gone. No, a hard chance, but Alan Bryn just couldn't quite make it to his left. Bishop to Brenchley, got it away, good shot, but it's straight to a fielder again, and it's Paul Goring with a catch. Well hit by Paul Brenchley, flew away, and the furthest fielder out of them all, Paul Goring, just took it with ease. Well, Caira 4 for 2, very unusual start for them. David Bishop just going for a little bit too much pace, perhaps, at the moment. Oh, a terrible shot by Meredith. And out he goes, touched by McAloon, the backstop, and Craig must be very disappointed at that shot. It was a wide ball, and it was very well taken. So here's Craig Meredith. Oh, it was well away from the pegs, but what a good take by Brendan McAloon. Bishop again to Andy Griffiths. Struck it well, has beaten the field. David Cross has got to go for it. And he's not probably the fastest mover by any means in the Caira side, but he's going to go for 4, and it's the first and a very important 4 for Caira. Here's an experienced character come into the side. Brian Nipper-Russ has hit it away very, very well. It's as good a shot as I've seen Brian play for a couple of years. He's had a lot of trouble with cartilage operations, but oh, he's down again there, but nevertheless, he stumbles on to free base. Good shot by Brian now. David Bishop to the Caira captain, David Richards. Oh, and I thought struck out. No, says the referee. It was his forearm. I thought it was his shoulder, but it was, you know, he's given him out. Given him out, in fact, it seems. Where did it hit him? I thought it might have been the shoulder. Oh, difficult to say. It could have well, very hard to say. And a very hard decision for the referee. So here's the second of the Richards boys, Martin, who a couple of weeks ago hit the highest ever score in a Welsh Baseball Union Cup final, 36. Which is still some 20-odd runs off the highest ever individual score. And he's got a hard push for one base. He just, I thought, made it. No, it's been given out. It's been given out. Well, the batsman usually gets the nod in if it's 50-50. And Martin Richards, not the greatest of shots. Mark Ring was the fielder. The throw was to Paul Rees on first base. It was a hard one. Martin hadn't got the pace that he used to have through bad leg injuries. Paul Rees stepping down, and ooh, just by a fraction. And out goes, well, all over the place goes Justin Watts. And just in what's completely and utterly bowled there. So Caira really are in a bad way. First round, disastrous one, Caira 16 for 6. Well, Dave Bishop, who had a spell on for Hull Kingston Rovers against Salford last night, and though he seems to me to be carrying a little bit more weight than the last time I saw him about a month ago, Dave Bishop is certainly, it looks pretty good bowling at the moment. To Glyn Owen, hit well. Paul Rees has got to come away from one. Now Owen's pretty quick, he'll certainly go for 3. Where will the Rees throw go? It goes to free base and strikes it. It was that accurate. He gets nothing for that, and Glyn Owen in fact gets 3 runs. Bishop to Wayne Matthews, one good gone. Pushes it away, nice stroke. Good stroke as well. Mark Green's got to go a good way for this, and Matthews will certainly get 3. He's very, very quick around the bases. Wayne Matthews with a bad throw, it could have been 4, but it was a useful one from Mark Ring, who is a very good fielder. Hit by Brian Russ. In comes David Cross for the catch. What a brilliant catch! Oh, that was brilliant. I never thought he would make that. David, who was a player of the year 12 years ago, and it was asking a bit. But once he got his hands there, it stuck. Brian Russ struck it well enough. Nothing wrong with the shot at all. It was well short of David Cross. He had to make a lot of ground. I didn't think he'd make it. Look at the hands though. Oh, what a good catch. Hitting the ground didn't upset him. So Caira now rocking at 28 for 7. David Cross was a good footballer, had a spell in America, not with football, but he's got an outstanding family record really of 4 brothers. Paul was the greatest probably, but I'd argue after tonight, after that catch. Here's Bishop with no signs in the bowling box of any ankle injury to Andy Griffiths. Well, I don't know if he does that deliberately sometimes he certainly does, but David quite not down quite the centre at the moment, and Andy Griffiths, oh, what a catch by Kevin Trevett! Scored it so quick on free base before anyone could blink, and very nearly took out Glyn Owen on 2 base as well. Very smart catch. He's had a good game so far. Bishop to Griffiths, and before you could blink, Kevin Trevett had taken it head high. Bishop to Chris Duffin, a little bit nervous I feel, Chris. Out goes Glyn, oh, he doesn't, Glyn Owen will go, he'll go on 4, and this will be all out, it'll be all out as Ring puts it down. Clever baseball, Chris Duffin couldn't get them home, and you've got to get the first one, Glyn Owen, based. Well, Old Italians made 68, Caira's reply 31, and certainly they could have been put back in by the Old Italians, but I think rather sensibly the Old Italians have decided they'll bat on and get a few more runs.
How would that, if you had to make the point, the analogy with cricket, is that a little unusual in baseball not to enforce the follow-on?
Certainly a game of this stand in a final. I think they're doing the right thing, Alan. It is grind Caira into the dust, I think, is the only way, really. So Caira had a good bat inside, I should add. It hasn't shown yet. Kevin Trevett away with 2 runs. Caira did hit a very huge score, somewhere around 170 a couple of weeks ago in a final here. And the Illtydians can't take that sort of risk. David Bishop taking his time, towing the pegs. Chris Duffin bowling to him. Not bowling. Expected Paul Going to run off 1, but he didn't. Well, the Caira field's just got to smarten up a little bit now as David Bishop strikes away. Glyn Owen coming for it. In fact, it's beaten him. It's beaten him, and Bishop will go for 4, and he will get it. David Richards' throw, and he just, good throw, but nevertheless, 4 good runs again. What a competitor this chap is. All the Italians with a good start. Again, this innings, 8 for none. Yes, it's not easy to bring the ball down, as Chris Devin's got to do, from the tall men like Paul Rees to the small men like Michael Jones.
A number of them use the crouch as well in the Old Italian side, don't they?
That's a crafty ploy, actually, and it's to try and influence referees. Michael Jones, 2 runs. Yes, it's interesting, Alan, that the crouch has been used rather a lot today, more than normally see. Because Paul Rees, who at 32 years of age will be coaching the Illtydians and not presumably playing so much himself now at rugby this season. Duffin to Rees, just a little bit too high, rising. Duffin to Rees. Oh, a bit of a mess of it, the backstop dropped it. I just got it away, and a little bit unnecessary. It looked, I don't think it was quite as intentional as it seemed there from Paul Rees, who knocked Brian Russ over. But Brian certainly took it well enough, and also got Paul Rees out. That was the important thing. Paul Rees misses. Andy Griffiths, not easy for chap who's not regular backstop. The throw wasn't the greatest of one, but Brian Russ did a good job on first base, and then oof, he could well have got the base in his face as well, but he must just have missed that. Here's Brendan McAloon in the crouch, and certainly a good ball, no doubt about that. Really, some of the shouting from the crowd is a little bit one-sided there. It's against the referee as Brendan McAloon hitting it up in the air. Brian Russell a little bit slow going back for it. May have thought there was a fielder behind him, and McAloon makes it to two base. Caira fielding, though the catching's good, it's somehow not as sharp as it normally is. Mark Ring, who's had a quiet game so far. And what was a clever shot, almost a late cut. Not one I usually see from Mark, and he makes quite a comfortable 2 runs. Old Illtydians, still a good start though, 19 for 1 in the second innings. Duffin again to Simon Williams, 1 good gone. And that was a good, but it was hit away off the top of the bat. And again, no Caira fielder there. Brian Russ having to go back, surrendering certainly 2 runs, because Simon Williams had his 1, but I really thought that Brian Russ, who's had a history really of knee injuries, goes down with a nasty jolt there, and I rather think Brian won't be continuing in the game. So Brian Russ leads the field. Tom Holly of the Welsh Baseball Union, well known as trainer in rugby circles, and Peter Duffin, the manager secretary of Caira, helping him off, and it looks a bit painful. So the substitution made, Stephen Smith on 1 base, and Illtydians doing well, 24 for 1. There's the substitute. Duffin to Phil Neal. Oh, he's gone again for that swing. He didn't get anywhere near the ball. And that's a pair. 2 noughts for Phil Neal, who was a long way off that one. All the Illtydians' second innings, first round, 25 for 2. Quite satisfactory. And here's the Illtydian flyer, who played for Pontypridd, Cardiff, several rugby sides in the centre. Kevin Trevett, another good shot, another 4 runs. Even if the fielder gets to it, Trevett is one of the quickest men around the bases. Takes it on the outside of the base. Another 4 runs. That's his 3rd home run of the afternoon. Well, now here's an important bowling change. The captain himself, David Richards, going to have a go. He's no mean bowler. Man for all times. He can do anything just about, David Richards. And he's got a big task, there's no doubt about that. David Richards replacing Chris Duffin in the bowling box, and he's really got to get into this Illtydian innings. But again, he finds it difficult. Paul Gorin receiving, swinging hard. He's topped it a bit too much. I think it's a catch to Glyn Owen. The Cwmbran footballer takes it with ease, in fact. Glyn Owen is so quick to get into position, and it really came off the top of the bat, I feel, from Paul Gorin. Nice swing by Richards. It was a bit high, bad ball possibly, but Paul Gorin decided he'd have a go at it. Owen made quick ground, got into position. Rarely seen him drop a catch. Oh, that's out, right on the head, I thought, but what's the referee giving? He must be out. Well, caught off the head apparently by Michael Fleming, but nevertheless he's struck out, will be given, and David, who didn't rub his head at all when it hit him, it was miraculous, and now he's out. But that was a little bit of clever play by Bishop, almost to make out that it didn't hit him before. But very good one to get out, and my gosh, what a solid head that must be. Now Richards with one good gone to Michael Jones. Now can Caira get back into the game? Jones misses, he's out, and that can be walked off. In fact, a hat-trick for Dave Richards, and a very clever, good one. What a player he is. He certainly is Caira through and through, David Richards. And here's the captain getting through. Jones, oh, funny sort of shot, never got to it at all. And illtydians 32 for 5 in the second innings. David Richards, who leads by example in this side, bowling to David Cross. And again, experienced David Cross, letting it go. This is the man with the most experience possibly of baseball in the side. He's got that one away. The middle of the bat somewhere. Good throw, but still 2 runs to David Cross. Richards to Brind. Bowled all over the place, and a happy game altogether for Alan Brind. Never got anywhere near it. Just a good, honest, straight ball, and he missed it. Well, it was just straight, no more. Good ball, easy take for the backstop. illtydians 36 for 6. The game well placed at the moment, finely balanced. Brendan McAloon patiently waits. David Richards psychs him out. Richards to McAloon. Despite the few bad balls, David Richards has calmed the Caira side down and changed the state of the play. Oh, that was near. Richards, like Bishop, has a little leap when he feels he's bowled a good ball. McAloon looking for the leg shot, possibly. Oof, and well, I thought that was good, I must admit. McAloon ducked, would have hit him somewhere around the chin, which was where it was aimed. Brendan McAloon, again, making out he's going to hit it on the leg side. Feeds him with the ball, but he won't have a go. So the Caira captain giving a few extras, but getting men out. Really slowed the whole tempo of the game now, David Richards has, but he's ready to bowl quickly as he shows. The batsman moves. But still, it's just can't get it right at all, David. David Richards, who's recovered from a double break of the leg. And here's Brendan McAloon hitting it away. Glynn the catch, straight to him, good catch. And it's the sort of one he'll make 10 times out of 10. Excellent runner to get into position. David Richards feeds him the leg ball that McAloon wanted, and Glynn Owen. McAloon shapes for the leg shot all the time. Gets under it. Glynn Owen runs into position. And it's as simple as that. And illtydians leading by 74 with a score of 38 for 7 in the second innings. Mark Ring is out, struck out, I thought. No, he didn't. It came off the bat, obviously, then. Always a hard decision, and was he out at 2? 2 runs it is, in fact. Caira claims he's out at 2. Ring runs further than I've ever seen anyone run past the base. There's a lot of claims. I suppose they're claiming actually that he was touched at 2 rather than struck out. The leg shot's always a difficult one to tell. but in the end it's 2 runs for Mark Ring. David Richards to Simon Williams, and that could be out, should be out. Oh, it isn't. Bad play by, really, David Richards should have gone for it. First base Smith expected the bowler to take the return ball, and I think he was right. I think David should have gone for it, and in the end Simon Williams got a run. Steve Smith is maddened. Normally the bowler will race across, David starts, goes for the return ball, Smith to Richards, it doesn't come because David didn't get there, and Williams kept going. Now here's the man who's doing as much as anybody to thwart the Caira efforts today, Kevin Trevett. 23 runs in the match so far. That's good baseball. He's hit leg shots, he's hit off shots. He's trying to kid them he's going to hit behind somewhere. Richards to Trevett. Kevin Trevett, who's certainly worrying the Caira side and playing very sensibly. David Richards to Kevin Trevett. Oh, nice edge away. And it brings Justin Watts in the game with a throw back, but Kevin Trevett, another little jump, gets him to base. Illtydians 45 for 7 in the second innings, lead by 82. Well, David Richards did his job, but the extras were a bit too many, and Chris Duffin has come back, hoping to find form. Duffin to cross, one good gone. Oh, that was up in the air, got to be a catch for Mike Fleming. Is quite comfortably. David Cross knew from the moment he hit that that was curtains, really. It was a low ball, a bit too low almost. David Cross going for the leg shot, in fact scooped it up on the off. And in a sort of slip gully position, Mike Fleming taking the catch. Illtydians 45 for 8. Three players going, Mark Ring's the first. Didn't quite get hold of it, but in fact he hit it well enough to give him certainly 3 runs. He won't get the 4. Oof. Hard ball for David Richards to take from Steve Smith and Mark Ring. Again overshooting the base by a long way, but there's nothing against that at all. 3 runs. Illtydians 48 for 8, now lead by 85. Very, very useful lead. Chris Duffin to Simon Williams, and he was nowhere near that one. And his first real mistake in the game, Simon Williams, has played a very useful, sensible game, and he's out bowled by Chris Duffin for 4. Simon Williams just a bit high, and he never quite got there. No point in running as Andy Griffith had it. Illtydians 49 for 9. Certainly an interesting finish in prospect. 17 extras in that 49. 2 men going, both rugby backs. Kevin Trevett, Mark Ring. Kevin Trevett, oh, what a funny shot, but he scooped it up good enough, I think, for 4 runs. It's gone down the bank and into the water, and Kevin Trevett, that's the 4th time today that he comes home for 4 runs. He really has an outstanding game with a little skip as he comes home, and it's the only thing you'll see from Kevin to show that he enjoys it. Illtydians 53 for 9, now lead by 90 runs. Mark Ring getting it away, 1 run. He'll I thought he would have tried for 2, but a good throw by Paul Brenchley. That was good calling. This is always the interesting period, with Mark Ring just below us on 2 base, Kevin Trevett home, and he's hit it away very well. He's hit it away very well. It's gone through the crowd. 4 runs, no doubt about that. Kevin Trevett just at the moment qualifying for man of the match. Another very, very good 4. Glyn Owen just couldn't get around to that one. Still a slight limp on his right leg, Kevin Trevett. Change in bowling brings David Richards back for the second time to Mark Ring. Oh, he's caught it on the end of the bat, but he's got away certainly for two. Paul Brenchley, who gives a very odd underhand throw. I don't know why he didn't let it go, but Mark Ring gets 2 more runs. Playing a very quiet game today, Mark Ring, but sensible. Kevin Trevett, who's placed it all over the field today, looking round. The field's gone very deep, in fact, now. David Richards to Trevett. Oh, clever ball, but an even clever shot. Flies away for 2. Pulls up dead. David Richards didn't even bother to look around. That was good baseball. On the bowler's part for the clever ball, but the batsman for a very clever shot. Old Italians at 62 for 9, and now 99 ahead, and that would be 100 to win, of course, for Caira. A massive target. Mark Ring. David Richards to him. Oh, he just got it away. One heck of a good shot in the end. He must have really got that with some power, because it flew away in the stream, and it's the first time today we've seen 4 runs from Mark Ring. And there's an excited Illtydian bench. The Welsh Baseball Union will be looking down there, because it's roughly £10 a ball now, and there'll be a few teams down there tonight looking for that. I think I might even. Illtydians now 67 for 9 and 104 ahead. Next. Well, all these extras mounting up. It's been a disaster for Caira today. They're bowling normally quite good. Somehow it just hasn't gone right at all. Paul Brenchley. Trevett lent on it. The claim was, I think, that he made a shot, but I couldn't really see that, nor could the referee, that he just leant on the bat. The good innings by Kevin Trevett. He's gone for a big hit this time. I think he'll go to a catch. Oh, it's a good catch. Very well taken by Justin Watson. Great encouragement for him, and certainly for his father Brian, who'll be watching, who won a cap 22 years ago for Wales. But that was Kevin Trevett with a big hit, and he's had a brilliant game. 35 runs today for Kevin Trevett, 17 the first innings, 18 the second. That really is good baseball. He hit a most unusual ballet type shot almost, but he got a lot of power in it, and Justin Watts had a lot to do, and he took it really well as he hit the ground. Mark Ring on his own now, and oh, what a smack, and it's 4 runs by a long way. Even Glyn Owen won't stop that. David Richards is out there as well. And it's 4 runs, and really the crowd, I think, as excited as anything today there, by an outstanding hit by Mark Ring. 4 runs. Under pressure the last 2 times, and he comes through with 4-4. Old Italians, 10 out for 72. You've got to get all 11 out in baseball, and they lead by 109. Good. Paul Brenchley, 1 good gone to Mark Ring, last man. Oh, and bowled. No need to run. Oh, bowled all out. All out. Well, this is Old Italians' 2 huge scores of 68 and 72 against Caira's 31, leaving 110 to win for Caira in the last innings.
Well, here's a surprise. A spectator at Roath Park, a former colleague, or should I say an old colleague at BBC Wales, Alan Williams.
Yes.
Have you got a love for baseball?
Yes, and I live near here. I've just been home for tea now in between the innings, but I first started becoming interested in baseball in Tokyo when I was there for the Olympic Games and with the Welsh rugby team, and there was a baseball ground just outside my hotel window, and I spent a lot of time sitting comfortably there with a glass of sake or what, you know. And of course I love this game because it's not as gentlemanly as cricket, the way they run around when the batsman isn't looking, you know.
I heard it described once as cricket with life. How do you think it would go down at Lord's?
I think the Lord's eyebrows would be lifted very high indeed, but I love the way they psych each other up. And I don't know whether the BBC has microphones here that pick up the psyching all round that goes. And of course, watching David Bishop and Mark Ring almost started me doing a commentary again. I'm enjoying it.
Now here's an important one, Mike Fleming. Good batsman, very experienced player. David Bishop hurtling them into Mike Fleming. Well taken by the backstop, Brendan McAloon. He's pretty mobile and has to be. Here's Bishop to Fleming. Struck away well, very well. Ball picking up a lot of pace through the crowd. Mike's not as fast as he was probably a few years ago, and this time he'll settle for 3 runs and a useful start. So Bishop to Glyn Owen. Struck away well. Certainly one. May just chance a second. He will. Throw to Dave Bishop over his head, but back up good from Paul Rees. 2 runs to Glyn Owen. Paul Brenchley out without scoring in the first innings. Certainly 110 isn't beyond the normal Caira play. That's a good ball from Bishop. Now can Dave Bishop get into the Caira innings? Paul Brenchley putting it away safely this time to the man who caught him in the first innings, Paul Gorin. But Paul Brenchley gets 2 runs. Caira 8 for naught, with 102 left to win. Bishop to Wayne Matthews, very good ball. Oh no, it wasn't down. It was a very good one. Bishop to Wayne Matthews again, firing it in so quick, not giving the batsman time to settle. Put it down, says McAloon. He does. Matthews gets it away. Now he's pretty quick. He'll go for 2. Mark Ring picking up. Oh, and he's got 4 runs. I think he could even get 4. No, the cover was there from David Cross, but there was no cover on 2 base, and Wayne Matthews picked up a very quick 3rd run. Bishop again, doesn't waste much time. In again. Oh, touched away by Griffith, more than touched. In fact, he struck it very well. Andy Griffith is certainly not the fastest runner on the Caira side, but it's a very useful 3 runs. Here's the substitute, Stephen Smith, batting in place of Brian Russ, who had to leave the field, of course, with a knee injury. Steve Smith hits it high. Is it a chance? It is a catch, and it's out. Paul Goring, the catcher. First man out is the substitute, Steve Smith. Caira now 18 for 1, chasing 110 to win. David Bishop to Martin Richards. He hits someone away. Mark Ring coming round. Martin's only having the 1 this time. Oh, and he's not. He's picked up the 2nd very cleverly. Yes, he drew the throw away. At least Chris Duffin drew it away. And Martin, who was a very, very good soccer player in the Cardiff Combination League, gets 2 runs there. Here's the young man, Justin Watts, who hasn't scored in a major cup final yet. He's played in 2. Well, a little bit of almost a penalty run, but not quite. He hits it away. On his way to 2, he won't get 4. In fact, he'll have to push to 3, and he makes 3 runs. And he must be very relieved to get there as well, I think. And that ends the first round with Caira 23 for 1, still very much in it. Chasing 110 to win in the last innings. Bishop to Mike Fleming, hits it down safely enough. Another run. Strolls through to 1 run. David Crossfields. 1 run. Mike Fleming, who's capable of big scores. He's been a very good baseball over the years for Caira. Glyn Owen, probably the fastest man on the Caira side, hits it down. He'll have to shift for this one. Kevin Trevett to Paul Rees, and out on 1. Yes! Yes, out at first base. Owen was fast, Trevett was faster. And always good to have a big baseman. Now Glyn Owen is pretty quick. He didn't really get hold of it. There's the miss hit. Kevin Trevett also a little slight misfield. A throw to Rees, solid on 1. And the referee right there giving the right decision. Paul Brenchley receiving now as the rain really sweeps down. And that could be well out. Bishop to Rees, and it must be out again. It is on one. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Bishop run all the way with that one. Maybe not Brenchley halfway there. The safe one is to Rees and out. Caira 25 for 3, needing another 85 to win. But in 16 years of Brewers Cup finals, there's only been one that was abandoned through rain and replayed. And that was certainly a most exciting game with Llanrumney and Caira quite a few years ago. David Richards cracking it away. That's more like David Richards. That's the shot of the match probably. And 4 runs no doubt to the Caira captain. Really cracking shot, applauded by the Illtydian fielders. David Richards, who has got most shots in the book, and that was a very good one. Caira 32 for 3 in the final innings. David Bishop shouting encouragement to his fielders. Kevin Chevette also on free base there. And Bishop to Martin Richards. Oh, very good ball. I don't know why Martin ducked. He was in bigger danger ducking. Martin again, cracking it away. The other Richards boy gets it away. 36 in the WBU Cup final the other day. Martin Richards, after a cruel knee injury a few years ago, flying round the free base. Can Mike Fleming give the third round a good start? What a take again by Brendan McAloon. McAloon says where he wants the ball. Fleming hits it straight, and he could go. He has gone. Always knew he was going to be out. In fact, 2 players very nearly went. Bishop to Wayne Matthews. Oh, he's got away with a sort of Chinese cut again. And his great speed brings it. He could go on 2. David Bishop's got him. He's out on 2. The throw was from Brendan McAloon, and that's out on 2 base, and really unwise to go for it. But the cover by David Bishop was tremendous there, because he had to run a good way back from the bowling box. Wayne Matthews with a sort of Chinese cut, but it's still got to do a lot to get him out. McAloon goes off for it, throws a ball that a cricket wicketkeeper could never have thrown that distance, and Bishop, who's run a long way back, and Matthews is fast, but that's a good one. Delighted Illtydians with Caira 41 for 5 in the second innings. There's the rain sweeping into Andy Grivis. There's no danger of the game at this stage being called off, though Caira possibly would like it. Andy Grivis. Ooh, it's only just off. Bishop not doing his little dance today that he does when he thinks there's a good ball in. Dave Bishop to Grivis, just above the head, only just. He ducked, says David. Bishop to Griffiths. Touched away, nice little shot. Andy Griffiths having quite a nice quiet game for Caira. 1 run. 1 run! So Chris Duffin, who's not had a great game at all today, must be disappointed. Hasn't really struck the ball that well either, batting. What can he do now? Well, that's his first real good shot of the game, and it's gone through Simon Williams, stopped a little bit in the crowd, and back to the throw, but for the first time Chris Duffin makes 2 base. Now Martin Richards, who had an injury very much the same as Mark Ring a few years ago, but overcame it brilliantly. Martin Richards towing the pegs and poking it out and away. Oh, and that's flown away, in fact, from Neil, and Martin Richards takes 3 runs. Good runs for Caira. 3 runs! Takes his score to 8. David Bishop to Justin Watts. And that's a good hit for him, but it's out straight to David Cross, and out without any trouble at all. It's always annoying when you hit the ball that well, but it's straight down David Cross's throat. No luck there, no justice for Justin Watts. Struck it beautifully, really. And the positioning of David Cross was very good. He hardly moved. Caira 50 for 6 in the second innings. Here's Meredith, who can certainly hit a ball. We haven't seen it yet. Oh, and was it out? Yes, struck out. Given struck out, I think on somewhere around his right shoulder. The appeals come in, but it looked out. It did appear that he was, to me, that it struck his right shoulder. No, the batsman says it hit the bat and went under his head, and the referee accepts what the batsman says, it seems. We'll see, did it hit the bat or not? Craig says it did. Always difficult on these leg shots. And it might have been then the head, possibly. So Andy Griffiths toes the pegs. David Bishop in fiery mood to him, and a beautiful ball right down the middle. Bishop again, good ball again, hit away, just wide of Kevin Trevett. David Cross, who's fielded well today, takes it and does the sensible thing, runs in with the ball. Well, this could be the first really major title for the Illtydians, who did win the Silver Bowl in 1984, but nothing near as big as this one. David Richards must stay in for Caira. Oh, it was difficult, looked just good, but coming back off the peg. Oh, that was a bad one. Well taken by McAloon. He's had a fine game at backstop. Richards will be looking for a 4 shot, I'm sure, and he won't get it. He's out. That's the one they wanted. I don't think Caira can really come back after that one. That was the best ball in the game for David Bishop. David Richards, who was looking to hit it too far, I think, and never quite made it. Caira 52 for 7. Very difficult task. Oh, Chris Duffin just got it, but he missed that. I think he would have taken his head off. But he's got 4 runs, good ones. Caira still fight to the end. Good 4 for Chris Duffin. Best shot of the day for him. Andy Griffiths rather nervously looking round. Paul Goring gone for the leg hit. Andy Griffiths is straight. This could be good night for Andy Griffiths. It is on first base. Bishop jubilant, Reese jubilant. So 3 men left. Dave Bishop to Chris Duffin. That's out bowled, and there's no doubting. There's really no doubt in the result now. Well, this could be the closing moments, though Craig Meredith is certainly a good hitter of the ball. And it's David Bishop to Craig Meredith. Martin Richards on 1 base, just the last man home. He used to hit it very well, and Simon Williams is made a marvellous catch. Simon Williams, Martin Richards gets home, but Simon Williams there with really a magnificent catch it was. Craig Meredith did get hold of it. It was a very good hit. Just a little bit underneath, maybe, or else it would have been out of Roe Park. Simon Williams, incredibly, and look at the leap like a soccer goalkeeper, or a rugby fullback, which he is. Martin Richards last in, 46 to win, an impossibility, of course. Bishop to Martin Richards. How far can he hit it? Kevin Trevett coming for it. They won't even attempt to catch it. They'll just get it back as Martin Richards getting it to 2 and not quite 3. 2 runs, all out, and the Old Illtydians gain their first major victory in a baseball cup final.
And it's a very proud and delighted David Bishop, captain of the Old Illtydians, who receives the trophy from Mr. Brian Blake, managing director of the sponsors Welsh Brewers. David, many congratulations. You finally got Old Illtydians on the cup. That's what you wanted to do, wasn't it?
Well, that's right. This was second time in the final, and Caira were the firm favourites, and we really didn't have anything to lose because they won the earlier cup quite easily. So we just come out and give us our best shot, and lucky enough caught them napping, so to speak.
It's good to see you and Mark ring together, perhaps for the last time in Wales. Is that your parting shot?
Well, that's right, really. I rushed back this morning from Hull, after last night's game, and it's nice to come home, of course, but you know, my new career's up there now, and I'm off tomorrow morning and just have a few drinks with the boys now, and it's really nice to come home, but my future's up there now, and I really got to make my mind up and stay up there.
And we wish you all the very best. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Mel. Thanks very much.
From us all here at Roath Park, it's a very good afternoon to you.